Welcome to self-discoverywisdom.com, formerly known as Self-Discovery Media. On these podcasts, you're going to hear people who speak from the heart. They've taken the journey in life. Many things have happened to them, but they've changed it to happening for them. And in their strength, their courage, they've discovered their abilities and their wisdom, and they are now sharing it here with you. Do enjoy each show. We bring it to you with love and knowing that it's going to help you on your journey of life. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Ignite Your Heart and Soul, right here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. I am your host, Sarah Troy. My guest today is Leigh Manzer. We're going to be talking about awakening within the Abbey Studios and Earth and Essence Wellness. What is Essence Wellness, you may ask? Well, that's what we're going to be covering today. His intention is to inspire others to step past the veil and believe of limitations in any form. He wants to show people that it's possible to heal all aspects of our lives, mentally, emotionally, physically, by becoming aware of what it means to be human, how it is that we find that path within through meditation that can be achieved in countless ways, and that will bring you to a state of mind-heart coherence, and at the same time, an understanding how to raise one's vibration that will open the path to a higher timeline, as we call it, the new earth, the new Lightworker. He started his life and became so unfulfilled and depressed one day, the continuous hamster wheel. He was in residential construction for 27 years, and he's done a number of things that, pay the bills. But he had his awakening and he had to take his journey forward. His interest is in tarot flourished, and he has done many a reading for people around the globe, and now offers healing modalities as sound bath healing ceremonies with his partner Angela. And his mission is to help others find the power within, transform themselves, and redefine the impossible to I'm possible. He's also a brilliant carver, and we'll be talking that as well, and how it's very spiritual, his carving, as each ingrain is coming from that soul presence. So welcome to the show, Leigh.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here with you to expand on this beautiful community that we're calling in of healing, of just growth and expansion. So thank you so much for the warm welcome.
And right up my alley, as you know, we have met, and this it is all about. Since the beginning of time, many lifetimes ago, I came here to ignite heart and souls, and for
Yeah.
people not just to live a human life, but to live a divine human life, and to understand we're divine beings having this human experience. In many ways, we lost our way and we became too humanoid and not enough connection to our soul, heart, and spirit. And that connection, I think people are hungry for right now. There's something awakening in them, but they don't quite understand it or what to do with it. This is where we come in, isn't it, Leigh?
Yeah, it's like we're coming in as another wave of awakening where there's still a lot of sleepy people out
Mm,
there and disempowering themselves by giving their power away, so that we can just be the example of somebody that's walked that path to be able to light the way. And that's where we are right now as consciousness evolves,
mm,
where we're coming out of the density of limitation,
mm.
of self-imposed, I might add, but
Yes, yes.
also just of the collective consciousness playing out on the world stage right now. And this is a very interesting time. So there's going to be a lot of confusion, I feel,
Mm.
happening. And so if we can anchor that light, it'll take less of us to tip that scales of of consciousness for others to be able to tune into, because they're going to stop supporting eventually a system
Mm.
that's unsustainable and crumbling as we speak.
Oh, is it crumbling? I told you this, but for people who may be listening to me for the first time, because I do speak about this a lot, the universe gave me a saying 8 years ago. I'm going to shake you up, to wake you up, for you to step up, to change it up and grow up. Grow up vibrationally to a higher plane of consciousness, but also grow up. We really have become a bunch of whiners and moaners and groaners when that's giving the power away. instead of empowering ourselves to all that we are designed to be and embracing that in that meaningful purpose. And was certainly, a lot of people have already heard and felt the shakeup and have changed it up or are on that path. But we've still
Hmm.
got an awful lot of people that at present moment being shaken up.
Hmm.
And not all of them will follow this path. Some will still be in that, you know, humanoidism, as I call it, where they're disconnected. And but
Yeah, for
we
sure.
can only lay the path for them.
That's correct. And we have to, for me, myself, I have to keep in mind that, because my initial response and awakening was, you know, it's like built in me. I need to save people. I need to share
Yes,
this.
yes, yes.
But it's so important to stay grounded right now
Mm,
and just anchor and hone that energy in balance and then speak out in truth,
yeah,
in that manner, and holding that light for people. People will tune to it when they see that you're acting differently. You look different, you
yeah.
speak different. Why, what are you talking about that,
Mm. You feel
and
different. The essence
you
of you is
feel
different.
different.
Yes.
Yes, and when you step into the heart
Mm,
and when people see that you're not malevolent in any way in things that you're saying and also the actions in the things that you practice, meeting the words that you speak. This
yes,
is important as a healer to be able to keep grounded and recognize that the people that are ready for the healing will come to you. And
yes,
you're only there as a healer to create more healers, to just facilitate that channel to help people to be aware that that power is within themselves
exactly.
already.
I call that the sunny side of the street. On
Yeah.
on the other side of the street are the people that have taken the path. They've
Yes.
embraced that calling. They are the healers, the motivators, the illuminators, ready for you whenever you're ready. You've got to come out of the dark onto the street to know whom to ask the help for. Now, some people come out and say it's too bright, it's too much. And I say, fine, walk on this side of the street in the shade. You're at least
Mhm.
out of the dark. Walk in the shade until you feel comfortable enough to step onto that sunny road. And then you will see the people and you'll feel the people. I need this person. I feel a resonance from this person. And then it'll be
Mhm.
the next person until you become that person that helps others. But we can't
Yes.
go in the dark for you. You have to, out of free will, come out and be, speak, ask us. We can't pull you out. We're
Yeah.
here for you when you're ready, but we can't pull you out.
And it comes with a degree of compassion
Hmm.
on our end when we're like, because all we want to do is just like touch somebody and heal them, but it has and it must come from within. It must be the person that's ready to take accountability for actually being the one that chose and
Hmm.
created their experience as the human avatar, the themes and the stories as the soul chooses, right?
Yes.
And that comes with a great deal of what does this even mean
Mm.
for me, and how is this even like to wrap your mind around that you are actually eternal?
Hmm.
Is people aren't ready to face that truth
No.
yet, and that's why they're staying in their comfort zone of not knowing because they can't accept it yet.
Right, exactly. And I call it the nudge, nudge, wink, wink from the cosmos. But if you don't pay attention, you get the cosmos two by four, and it
Yeah,
may hit you a few times until you
yeah,
awaken. And those that deny it, keep getting knocked down and no, no, no. It's unfortunately again that free will can't help anyone until they're willing to help themselves. But for those that kind of suddenly get it and go, doing, oh, okay, okay, there's something else out there, you're right. And we
right.
have to step away from everything we've been taught
Yes, 100%.
because everything we've been taught is to condition us, is to control us,
Yep.
is to make us mindless and
Yes.
heartless in many ways, and
Empathy.
also to
Yep.
keep us in fear. Right? When we decide that we are no longer going to be on somebody else's puppeteering, that we're going to cut those strings and be our own person on our own journey, and we open up to that, it becomes an extraordinary journey of
Oh,
wonderment and brilliance.
It's amazing. And when you, with the awareness of understanding that, or understanding that you are a soul having a human
Hmm.
experience, and the things that you've experienced, for me, all of the traumas and all of the things that I face even right now with, friends and family that are no longer in my experience because of my change of belief,
Hmm.
and especially of everything I'm talking about right now. Um, where was I going with that?
There's always
It's
going to be pushback.
Yes, there's going to be pushback, and it's okay,
Hmm.
to understand that, really at the end of the day, these people, for me, is I view them as like brave souls or actresses and actors
Hmm.
in this story that we chose together. And so at the end of the day, at the movie premiere,
Hmm.
everybody, the villains and heroes are all in the same room, shaking hands, giving awards to each other. And I'm like, well, what's the difference? There's no judgment because we
Mm.
recognize each other as that agreement and braveness that we chose to be for each other as a soul in that particular experience.
Mm.
And so the compassion takes over, and
Yes, yes.
understanding that, it's what's there to forgive at the end of the day.
Yeah, and you said it earlier, is kind of meet people where they're at. It's like, I have a sister I love very much. She's 13 years older than me. She thinks and looks at life utterly different to me.
Mhm.
But as long as we stay in our lane, we have a common lane that we can talk about and interact there. And as long as we stay there, fine, we can have lots of giggles and fun. But she has no understanding of this
Yeah.
world or even podcasts. Um, and she's so absolutely immersed in politics and conspiracy
The
theories. And so it's like,
duality.
when somebody's willing to at least, because for a long time it was no closed doors, I can't go down that road. And then it was, kind of came back. I says, we stay in these parameters, we stay in this lane and we're fine. And I think it's, a lot of people that awaken immediately want to awaken everyone else.
Yes.
Right? Oh my God, I've never felt like this. Oh my God, I suddenly understand what life is about. Oh my
Yeah.
God, the essence of myself. And you want to share it and you want everyone else to feel like that. But again, back to that free will, if they're not ready to come out, if they're not ready to embrace it, they can be inspired by you
Hmm.
because that inspiration is an invitation. My God, look at the transformation.
Yes.
How do I get that? Harry met Sally. How do I get that? Right.
Right.
But if they're not willing to partake, they're not going to reach that goal. All we can is be true to ourselves in that beacon of light. And if they will wish to, then they'll step out of that darkness into that light. But we have to
Mm.
understand we can't impose where we're
No,
at.
and we can't take responsibility for that journey for
Yes,
them. And
yes.
but here, as kind of an awakened soul in the experience, the
Mhm.
lucid dreamer in the human reality, can see that person stepping back and forth, to the veil, to the mirror, and back again by, they see and they're inquiring about why are you so different,
Mhm.
but they're not ready yet, and to be okay with that, to just let it transpire, but just to continue to plant seeds
Yes.
that will grow, and things that you say will they'll remember as they go through this transition. You never know which ones are going to stick and flourish, and you know.
Which ones get left behind? I've been referring to this book a lot. I have done over the years, but lately it's just because I think it's so apropos. And that is Who Moved My Cheese by Spencer Johnson, MD. Right. And he wrote this for people in business of how to deal with change. And then they said, you've got to put this in a book. And now there's probably about 29 million copies worldwide. Two
Oh.
mice and two men around abundance of cheese. One day the cheese is gone. So Sniffy and Scurry sniff out and scurry around for more cheese. Right, this cheese is gone. Let's move on. Hem and Ha, well, Ha is like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I have no idea what to do next. I've the cheese has always been there. What do I do? What do I do? And then eventually the stomach says, move on or you'll starve to death. And it goes chasing after Sniffy and Scurry and to see if they found any cheese. Hem is give me back my cheese. Who do I have to sue? Who do I have to kill? I'm not going anywhere until you give me my cheese back.
Mm.
And I think it's very, very apropos to where we are right now. There are people that are sniffing and scaring a new way of life. Right there are the hearts that are waking up to like it's this that reality doesn't fit me anymore. I've got to go looking for something I feel attached to, that's something that feeds my very being. And then you've got the hems that is like no, It's your fault. Everything's your fault. I'm not going to do anything. And we can't help them at all.
No, they're still in victim mentality,
Exactly.
and right, and the fingers are always pointing at someone else instead of claiming
Yes.
accountability and responsibility
Yeah.
for the actions and decisions that you make will create your reality,
Yes.
and that what you put out is what you get back. So if you see the outside reality as a mirror of your consciousness, and that the energy that you're putting out emotionally, mentally speaking, like from you, is exactly what will reflect in one form or another, in one
Yeah.
circumstance or another. It's just a repetitive cycle in a mirror, the spirit showing you what you need to look at within yourself to be able to resolve it. But it's being able to step out of the victim mentality and into the observer,
Hmm.
objectively. It's like, oh, yeah, I see that now I am creating my outer experience by this.
And you can't be the participant until you've observed. Right? You need to kind
Yes,
of observe what is going on, and then what resonates will then be something you'll then participate in. But you've got
yes,
to first observe, which is my vibe tribe? Which frequency do I wish to be on?
yeah.
Which path do I wish to walk? And until they are presented to you, you don't know where to move forward. But the fact that you've been willing to walk away from the victim mentality, the woe is me, into the accountability, and you're willing to observe what the options are, is already a huge milestone in the right direction.
Yeah, for sure. And then it's interesting when you step into that and who comes in and out of your life from that point on,
Hmm.
as you're changing your beliefs, you're challenging these things, and the resonant frequency then that you hold is then going to be reflected. And so
Yeah.
as you transition out of this, it'll seem like chaotic. Friends are
Yeah.
leaving, families leaving
Hmm.
because you said what? Like he's
Yeah.
crazy. I get
Yes.
that a lot, right?
Yep.
And but then as you grow too, you learn to allow that just to flow through you and not take it personally, because
Right.
it's only a matter of resonant frequency and the
Exactly.
channel that you're tuned to. And so we shift through these timelines, as we go through our rise of consciousness and
Mm.
awareness and frequency. When we're acting in our excitements and passions, we're raising
Mm.
our frequency to be able to shift into this higher timeline, I guess you could
Yeah.
say. So that's important to be able to maintain, to be the example of that, and to simplify it to the degree that anybody can do this.
We've always had since the beginning of time somebody leaving the pack,
Yeah.
the explorers, right? Some explore to bring back, some explore to move on and discover. And what we're really needing inside of ourselves is that wonderment and that exploration of that there
Yes.
has to be something more out there. There are so many people that are miserable that don't realize they're miserable.
Yeah.
They
Totally.
they don't know what joy is, they don't know what laughter is. They're just humanoid,
As long
right?
as they're in that box and structure that society
Yes.
lays out for them, then they're comfortable, because then
I'm
there's
comfy in their misery. Yes.
there's identities attached to that,
Yeah.
and things that people need to feed that ego
Yeah.
structure, I guess you could say, that
Yes.
identity, that mask.
Yeah. And I think when they start seeing other people around them kind of illuminate and
Yes.
become at home with self and step into a meaningful purpose, a contribution that is
Hmm.
so powerful, then it's either something, oh God, I don't want to do that, too much work, or oh my God, can I be like that? And I do
Yes.
find that an awful lot of humans, and I consider myself a human being. I'm talking about humans that have embraced the beingness, are still in that. Oh God, that sounds too much effort. And
Yeah.
it's like, how much energy does it take to be fearful, to be confused, to be lost,
To
to
be
be out
something
of
you're
joy,
not.
to be angry, to be
Yeah.
an illusion, a
Yes.
delusion, a societal puppet? How much energy does it take to be that,
Yeah,
right?
it takes so much more energy to be somebody and something that you are not truly.
Uh-huh.
And in my opinion, your true essence is joy and
Mm-hmm.
excitement and love and
Mm-hmm.
passion. And when we embrace that side of ourselves, and act on it, then you're starting to become more of who you are authentically when you're
Yeah.
acting on your own creativity, your own passions,
Mm,
whatever that means. And it can be simplified to the degree of like acting or choosing your excitements on a daily basis. It doesn't have to be you have to find that one thing. It's
hmm.
today, do I want to read a book, or this morning, this moment, or do I want to go for a walk? What excites me more? I'm going
Yes.
to do that. And in that way, you're raising your vibrational
Mm,
frequency by making that choice that will lead you to a synchronistic event, or
hmm.
synchronicities where to put you where you needed to be, because you're now resonating on that channel of a
Yes,
higher frequency.
exactly. And that higher frequency is one where, we talk about having more energy, but it's not what we call the chaotic energy. It's not the hysterical energy. It's not a sugar
No,
high.
no,
It's
it's a
an energy that is in such beautiful flow. And
harmonic.
it's so harmonic and so peaceful and so meaningful that you don't have the great crescendo highs or the big huge lows. You have beautiful waves that go up,
Yeah.
then they come back down again, but you never lose yourself. You ride in this beautiful rhythm and flow of life like a
Yes.
piece of music. And it is so wonderful to be in that, and you will align with people on that same wavelength and that same frequency, because now you become an orchestra together, a choir
Well,
together.
right. And you will know what's resonating with you at that point, because you'll be able to hear that one instrument that's out of
Yes,
tune, right?
yes, yes,
And
yes.
either they tune, or they'll fade from the experience. And
Mm,
that's and again, that's okay. Everybody is where they're at, but it is an orchestration of souls, of
yeah,
symphony, of
yeah.
unity, of that bringing that state of being within the body, within the mind. And this is a game where meditation comes in to be able to, and this comes in so many forms.
Yes, it does.
It's just being able to find that space between the thoughts where
Yeah.
because that's really where your brain was never
Mm.
designed to think. It was designed to receive.
Exactly. Exactly.
And if it's too busy putting with scenarios of things that don't actually exist in the future or the past, neither exist, only in your mind and body. And if we buy into the belief structures revolving now around those projections of something that you truly, really, really, really don't know,
Hmm.
as opposed to going with the flow, like that water, letting that,
Mm,
regardless of what the circumstance is, if we see it as chaotic or not, we're in flow and we're not reacting negatively and putting definitions on these circumstances. We're instead observing it and then allowing to move through it and seeing it and the lessons and the silver linings that's there for
mm.
you to see. Because if it's there, it's meant for you to see. You're always,
Yeah.
always,
Yeah.
always in the right place at the right time. And if you
Hmm.
can observe your outer experience as the reflection of the inner consciousness that it is, then you'll see more and learn about yourself quicker and be able to see what energy is not aligning with you. You'll
Hmm.
be able to recognize who you're around. That's can I give my energy 3 minutes to this person,
Hmm.
3 hours, 3 days, 3 weeks,
Hmm.
and then to be able to recognize when you come away from somebody, what energy, you might feel off. And
Yes.
if you're not resonating at your core essence of joy and or of love and passion, excitement, then you recognize that, wait a minute, that's not mine. And then
Hmm.
to be able to move that energy through breath work, through quieting the mind, to be able to tune back into a harmonic frequency within the body, a homeostasis, a place of rest.
And it's not for everybody, cross-legged and hum.
No,
There's so many different forms of meditation, qigong, tai chi, going for a walk in nature, dancing, singing, whatever it is that brings you
yeah,
home to self, that takes you
yes,
out of mind. I have ADDs and my mind is always working.
yeah,
So what I do is I put music on and I give it the mundane jobs it can do automatically without much thought. And then I just allow, the heart and soul to have its voice, right?
yes,
It's because I keep the head busy. And this is sometimes we have to, I don't know how to shut the mind up. Well, hyper active mind. quite common for an awful lot of people. And it's like, keep it busy, give it a job to do. It's like a border collie, give it a job to do.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it will be following you everywhere and nipping you in the corner. So, give it a job to do. And
Yeah.
then while it's busy working, that's when you can take your breath and you'll actually kind of feel that lovely sensation of, ah, I'm at one,
Yeah.
I'm at peace. But look to how you meditate. For many people, regular meditation is a place that they can go to. Fantastic. But if you can't, look for what helps you get out of your mind, out of your expectation, out of the dictation, and
Hmm.
listening to the heart, soul, and the spirit, where you're feeling the wisdom. And when you
Yes.
feel the wisdom, as I say, call it the knowingness. The knowingness is the divine energetic soul speaking to the heart in truth, giving it to the spirit in action for the mind to know the clarity it needs to know in the now.
Yes, and that's the key thing that you just
Yes.
said, in the now moment.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's where everything exists. And so, like I say, when we're distorted back and forth to what isn't in our now moment, then the mind is busy. And and there's tons of, for me, it's my art. Like when I'm in my
Hmm.
doing my scroll saw work, I can't take my eye off the blade. But
Yeah.
then it's a space when I'm in that moment of stillness where I can then, what I started practicing was being then aware of my thoughts.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm in this place with myself, and a lot of people can't sit with themselves in
I know.
silence, and
Yeah.
it's amazing. And so it's like I can't meditate, and I'm like, well, wait a minute. Literally, it could only take 3 minutes. Can you? What are you doing when you
Yeah.
stir? When you're making your coffee? What are you doing when you're
Yes.
in in the shower? You got
Yes.
3 minutes. So it's only
It's all about
practicing.
focus.
It's all about just seeing the thoughts, observing the thoughts that pop into your mind, the
Hmm.
frequency that they hold and carry, negative or positive, the emotional reaction that comes with that thought, and then the beliefs revolving around it that distorts the body. So when you become aware of those things, recognizing that if it's causing a trigger emotionally, then this is spirit showing you again, your triggers
Mm.
are your greatest teachers. And
Yes.
this is where you can start if you're holding on to any lower density consciousness or emotional states of being that's like a rock in your pit of your stomach,
Hmm.
not even understanding sometimes why it's there, but being aware of the quality of your thoughts, then tuning into the breath, and then we can come into brain heart coherence, which then calms the nervous system. It tells the body that it's okay. And it only takes a few minutes of breath work to be able to come back into that, to be able to allow yourself to realize that you're actually okay when in those times of anxiety, panic, depression. It's just a tool to use.
The most important thing is to understand we cannot make a coherent decision when we're in a state of angst, crisis, pain,
Right.
suffering, confusion, because everything about us crunches and fists and it blocks the chi, the energy, the flow.
Yes.
Your oxygen, your blood, your chi, your fiber optics, everything has to be in flow. And when you crunch everything down, the fluidity isn't going there. So also the brain isn't getting that oxygen it needs in order to make a decision. This is
Right.
the time you start the deep breathing. And with each breath, erect yourself to align your chakras, align your spine, and just allow that deep breathing. Doesn't matter if the brain is still chattering, concentrate on every
Yeah.
breath in and out, slow it down, have it go deep, and then you'll just find, okay, all right, I'm in this calm space now. I can see what I need to do.
Yes.
But you can
Yes.
never see it when you're in a state of angst.
No, because you can't perceive what you're not the vibrational frequency of.
Yes,
Because it's spinning
yes.
faster than you're looking at you're resonating on the problem and
Mm,
in that moment. And if you can't pull your state of being back together, it's never the circumstance that matters. It's your state of being that matters the most, regardless of what you're facing.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly. I think for so long, and I've just done a very interesting show with a guy that's written about a coming of age story of a young man falling in love with his teacher. And I looked at it and I thought the boy is 16 in the book. And when you look into the past, girls as young as 13, 14, maybe even 12 sometimes, is coming into the maturity of baby making and connecting, because back in the day we didn't live so long, so everything started longer,
Mhm.
earlier. And so, a man of 16 would already be a warrior and maybe have a few kids and everything else, right? And it's like, although we have changed the laws and we perceive children to be young to a certain age and then they can become adult, our genetics hasn't changed. And,
Mhm.
we're still operating on that old programming
Yeah.
that's there. And I think for so many people, they don't realize it's an archaic programming that we're still running. And the
Yes.
only way we're going to change that programming is being aware of what the program is. Very often it runs in the background. We don't pay attention to it. This is when
Mhm.
you're in stillness, you need to look. These habits, this program, this automation that I keep doing, is it out of expectation? Is it out of DNA imprint? Is it something that's being dictated to me? And it's like, if you don't like it, it's time to delete it and change the programming. We have the power to
We
change
have
the
the power.
programming.
Yes, we are the architect of our story, truly. And when we awaken in this dream of our soul having a human experience, then we can consciously create our outer experience when we recognize that it's basically a holographic experience of our
Hmm.
higher mind. It's a dream, literally. It's like because physicality is not a thing. It's in the law of
Not in the spirit
hermetics.
world.
Not in the spirit world. We and here's the thing is what we have to recognize is that we are spirit. We never left
Yeah.
it. In
No.
knowing that we're a soul having a human experience, that
Yeah.
means that we are eternal. We are energy. We are consciousness. And it is light that is slowed down enough into a vibrational frequency that then becomes form when
Mm,
we, the creator, for being, observe it. And it
mm,
all renders into what's in front of you now, just kind of like Minecraft. It's
yeah. Mm.
mind-blowingly the same.
We are in borrowed vessels.
Yes.
This lifetime, this is the vessel we're in. Many of us come back. I've been here for a long time. I came a
Yes.
very, very long time ago to ignite the hearts and souls and spirits, and I remember a lot of it now, a lot of memories that come to pass. Plus, I've had many lifetimes removed from me, human lifetimes that did not serve me anymore. The imprint was holding me back. And we have to look at the vessel that we're in and say, this is the vessel that holds our heart, soul, and spirit. This is the vessel that is having an experience that spirit can't have: touch, taste, feel, hold, right? And so it is a combined experience that we're having here. And for a
Hmm.
very long time, for me, I kind of rejected the humanness of it. I just wanted to live in spirit, so much more peaceful. And humans
Well,
and humans are
yeah.
so mean to each other. I don't want to be over there.
Well, and I asked myself many times, why did I choose this? And that
Yeah.
helped me to actually move through the density a little bit easier
Yes.
when it again stopped being a victim. Like I'm a victim of this circumstance of life,
Yeah.
you know?
Exactly. And I think it's when we actually come to terms that that we are in control. And what is control? It's choice. It's
Yeah.
decision making based on our inner wisdom, right?
Yeah.
We can make the human choices of expectation, or we can make the divine choices of the spirit that's going to take us so much further in a so much more meaningful way. But it is that choice. The brain has to get out of the way. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to wait for instruction. All
Yeah.
right. Okay, I'm going to let the wisdom come through and wait for instruction. I'm not going to be dictating here. Right. And let the wisdom come through. You have to feel the wisdom for it to be given to the knowledge, to know what the knowledge means in that moment,
Yeah.
right? And if we're so stuck in the knowledge, and in many, many ways, education has done us a favor and not done us a favor, because what happened is we got so caught up in education
Yeah.
and academia and the higher, education of knowledge, we
Yeah.
forgot our beautiful instinctual soul wisdom that directed the knowledge into purpose.
We're being led away from it.
We're
We're,
being led away.
and also always continuously searching for something outside of ourselves
Hmm.
for those answers. And
Hmm.
then, separating two things that are fundamental, science and spirituality. They're not,
Yeah.
they shouldn't be separate. And we have that happening right now,
Yes.
where there's being proof now for the mainstream people, if they want to dig far enough, that there is proof that we are in this beautiful matrix simulation of the soul. And it is a beautiful, intricate
Yes.
process thing. And it's I just am so mind blowing when I even just stop and think about it. It's amazing. But to have an experience as human, for me, like
Mm,
that means hue is a form of light, man
mm,
to made manifest.
yeah.
Human being is a light being, and
Hmm.
um, so the human body is such a ancient sacred technology that interfaces with the dream state, with the
Yeah.
holographic nature of this reality. It's like a VR headset to the soul, and
Hmm.
jumping into this dream.
Yes.
And when we can recognize that we're the one behind the goggles and not
Hmm.
the one in the experience, it's easier to then allow yourself to be navigated when you let go of worry,
Mm,
and trust fully in the universe and that it has your back. It will support you either way, whatever you believe, unconditionally, the universe.
yeah.
And
It doesn't
um,
have an agenda other
it
than
doesn't
that
have an agenda. It's a
of a
mirror.
higher, it's a mirror, and it
Yeah.
is a higher consciousness of love. When you are living in that high frequency of the love vibration, you can't knowingly hurt anyone else. To do so is to hurt yourself.
Yes.
Right. And so that it is a love vibration of truth. I have always gone up into the universe. I've learned the hard way that if I come from head, I'm guaranteed to make the wrong decision. When I come from heart and
Yes.
soul and spirit,
Yeah.
I may not always comprehend the choice I've made in the moment, but it
Hmm.
will reveal to be the best choice I've made.
Well, for sure. Well, and when you trust your intuition
Yeah.
more and more and more, this is where we will start to create a new experience because we're trusting in the very thing that is the field, that is connected to unity consciousness, that is our body. Our DNA is so amazing. It's a fractal antenna
Mm,
to higher realms of consciousness, and the body is the holy temple of that fractal of source consciousness, that is learning about itself, who it is through our individual perspectives or degrees of angle. And
yeah.
each and every one of us here is kind of like, we're all like temperature.
Mm,
Hot and cold express the same thing. It only varies by degrees. And
mm,
so that's the same as us. We're expressing different degrees of the same thing.
yeah.
And we are reflecting that fractal, in that angle of light here on Earth, embodied in
Mm.
this suit.
It's very interesting times because I'm 71, kind of growing up very spiritual and talking spiritual. I always had somebody that found me, whether hiding in a corner somewhere trying to read a book, somebody coming to sit down, and it's something they needed to know. And I've been
Yes.
like, there's always a child. Their teacher would say, "Well, how do you know that?" I don't know. Repeat it. I can't. I
Yeah,
said
right.
what was needed to be known now, and that's it. It was
Exactly.
purely the conduit, the channeler for that. And as a youngster, of course, it was like, playing with quote, quote, dead people with other, other energies. Why can't other people see them? Why can't other
Yeah.
people feel them? Why can't other people do this? And I was very confused of why people were not seeing it. And where they would pull me towards them and then push me away. Right. And
Mm.
so it was really confusing message. You're pulling towards me because you want to hear what I have to say, which is not coming from Sarah. It's coming from the divine, but you're
Hmm.
pushing me away because you don't want to be seen with Sarah. Right. So, and of course, we always had the worry of the white coats coming to take you away. Haha.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
But, we had that awakening back in the late 60s and 70s,
Hmm.
which, called the hippie generation. And that's when we started diving into it and anti-establishment and starting feeling things. And then kind of plasticization of 80s and 90s came in when
Oh
we went right
man.
back into it again. And
Yeah.
it's like, I've, they gave me that sign, but they've also told me for the last, I've been doing this 13 and a half years. They've also told me every year we're going to turn the volume up on the consciousness.
Yeah.
Every year we're going to go up a few more degrees, a few more degrees, a few more degrees, and then there'll be a surge of
Yeah.
it going up. And those that aren't already on that bridge of wanting to change may be disconnected altogether.
Yeah, yeah, and that's just and here's the thing when you see it from a soul perspective, there is no judgment or no rush for anybody to do anything because what they're doing is exactly what they were supposed to be doing. And
Hmm.
so if you like for me, it helps to dissolve judgment when I see something that doesn't resonate with me or something that I used to do,
Hmm.
that doesn't, it's easy to be able to stay in flow, not judge what's happening because that soul needed to be experiencing whatever it is that they came here to get, whether we
I still
perceive it
do
as
believe,
bad or not.
right. I still do believe that we, in our consciousness, have to hold into our accountability.
Yes.
And that awareness, like that action I just took, in my awareness, I have to be accountable for. It came from this place. Now I know better. I am
Yes.
accountable for my actions moving forward. And I
Yeah.
think that we need to be accountable to actually understand the awareness. The awareness is to hold us to accountability, not to blame, not to shame. You came from this knowledge. You came from
Hmm.
this place. Now you know that those actions are detrimental to yourself or someone else. Would you, in all good conscience, do it again? Right? You know better now, so you
Right.
should do better now. And that accountability, if I know better now. So the brain has to work
Right.
with the consciousness of knowing, hang on, just because I've always done it that way doesn't mean I should always do that way because it's not necessarily kind on other people. Now I know better. I need to step into compassion and be accountable for my actions, for my words in moving forward.
Hmm. Yes, for sure. I 100% agree with that. When you do that, you are able to move through it, disempowering anybody that's going to still try to bring you to that
Yes.
lower, that
Yes.
drama frequency. And that's what I found in my whole awakening is that by speaking about my journeys and things like that, it kind of disempowered, like it's like anybody that wanted to play the blame game, and I'm like, okay, well,
Mm,
yes, I let's talk about it. This is the version of me that was.
mm.
Um, I and I don't see it any mistakes, right? I mean, there's mistakes, but I mean, if you can
The
learn from
lessons.
it
Hmm.
and be accountable for it, the lessons that you came to get from that and use it to evolve, to grow
Yeah.
from, that's the whole point of it. Because if you didn't experience those things that were opposite of what, that
Mm.
you don't know until you're in it, what you
You
would,
don't know until you
what
know.
what you
Right.
would do, how you're going to react based
Mhm.
on your beliefs, based on your resonance, whatever, so there's a lot of things that go into that.
And it doesn't mean we're not still reactionary because there is
Yeah.
that human side. And if we see such cruelty or something else going on, we're going to be reactionary. It's not turning the other cheek and saying, oh, it's just their divine
No,
journey,
right.
right? It's knowing how to step up in what way, right?
Shedding a light on the
Shedding a
darkness.
light on that darkness, shedding a light
Yes.
on the darker actions. It's holding the account, condemning the actions,
Yes.
but trying to help people understand what those actions are. The accountability is to own them and be able to move forward from them.
Yes.
But it's not a shame or blame or a judgment. But the accountability is an understanding of I came from this place. This is why I did this. Now
Yeah.
I know more and I have risen up higher. I know that I will never do that again because I know the reaction. But you're going to have reactions now and again. And it's to understand, I would believe that we do need to spend our emotions.
Yeah.
Glad, happy, sad, whatever it is, we need to spend them, but not become emotional about them. They're here for a
Yeah.
reason, but don't let them take over.
We can't take everything personally. In
Exactly.
my opinion, we got to stop taking things so seriously and lighten up,
Mm, yes.
especially if we're stepping into calling in this newer height
Hmm.
timeline. It is about stepping into authenticity, our passions, our
Yeah.
excitements, putting that out into the world, building a community of these things to put people on the path of healing within. They find their own passion, their own journey.
Yes. Their own
they're,
signature, you know?
yes,
Yeah,
and that's what
because
it's
we
all
all have an
about.
energetic signature, and
Yeah.
we can, be embraced by that signature. In the orchestra, every instrument is important. It doesn't mean it plays every time, right? It's knowing what our signature is and when we bring forth, where it belongs, and knowing that it's not always, sometimes it is purely to spectate and support, and sometimes it's to step up and be,
Yeah.
right? And two words I dislike are compare and compete. Don't compare
Hmm.
yourself to anyone. Don't compete against anyone. Leave that to games,
Yeah.
right? You can compete over a board game. That's perfectly all right. Just don't go kamikaze about it. And don't compare. Everybody else is taken. You are enough. Embrace the beautiful divine essence that you are. And not
Yeah.
trying to be somebody's image, which you guarantee whatever you did, plastic surgery, this, that, you will never be what somebody else wants you to be, because what they're reflecting is the lack within themselves.
Hmm.
Hoping you will
And
feel that.
true fulfillment comes
Mm,
from not feeling that you're in lack
mm,
in any, abundance comes in many forms. It's how we define it. But yeah, it's yeah, we need to watch our definitions that we
mm.
place on things, as well, I feel.
What is really important? And
Yes,
what
and
really important is harmony. What
yeah,
really important is community harmoniously coming together. What is
unity.
really important is that every single one of us steps up with the gift that we are, with the instrument that we are.
Yeah.
And there will always be soloists. There'll always be people that have been given a bigger load to carry because that was their gift. We're all gifted. How do we share those gifts? The triangulus is just as important. It may not be playing all the time, but it's still important to that collective. And I think it's again, it's stop measuring, ounce per
Yes.
ounce and start looking at what is the gift of that person. I don't need you right now,
Yes.
but my God, come on in now. You're a significant part of this particular piece, right?
Yes, absolutely. That's and when, I find a lot of people, and I've talked to a lot of people that are shy about sharing their story or
Mm,
their gifts or anything. And my question to them is, or my statement is to anybody that has a gift, if you're not sharing it and just putting, or even whatever it is for you, there's somebody always on the receiving end, ready to receive your gift
mhm.
when you're sharing it. And, we deny people of the gift that they, that could bring that spark of inspiration, could be that seed that sprouts into something that you couldn't have possibly imagined in that person because of just one small thing that you did. We become
Yes,
inspiration for one another.
yes,
And that's what it's all about in me, for me, building this community is just, sharing my passion with the world to uh, help people, to show them that it's possible to
yeah.
actually take small steps to act in your passion, to find those
Mm,
things that you're excited about, to act, to do it, and let go of any expectations of what that should look like. And this is the secret to manifesting something is, for me, I didn't start like Agape Studios and my wood
mm,
carvings for money. I started just to see if I could actually do it. And
yeah.
then overnight, literally, I became an artist because I
Mhm.
never put my saw away since,
Right. Yes, exactly.
and that became a place of meditation for me in this transition of consciousness, because it's the spiritual journey of awakening is not necessarily an easy road. It's not all rainbows and
Right. Puppy
unicorns. It's,
dogs. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and here's the thing, a great deal of chaos comes with it. But when what I started to view chaos in my life
Mm,
showing up, I then it's like, okay, why is this showing up like this? Get excited about chaos because it is spirit showing you, like, if it's like not, you're not hitting a brick wall, there's
mm,
arrows in another direction, you know,
exactly.
right? And
In
so
order
to
to
be,
have order, you need chaos.
yes,
Yeah.
and to allow that frequency to actually leave your channel, your frequency,
Yeah.
your outward experience, and then go into flow, into allowing new experiences to come in when we're not expecting in expectation of forcing the outcome, or I'm expecting like financial stability out of an idea like
Mm,
within a year or two, whatever. It's letting go of that, and that's what I did. And like within 3 years, like it's just kind of growing,
mm.
bigger and bigger. But it's being patient with yourself, trusting the process, you know, of this evolution of your living your best life. And I liken this transition in this journey to the caterpillar, of course, because
Yes.
it's not in its cocoon that it
Mm,
made,
mm.
watching its body dissolve in destruction and freaking out. It's like, oh
Yeah.
no, what do I do? I don't know what I'm going to do. No, it doesn't resist this and uses what it needs from that old structure, kind of like our belief systems,
Yes.
that then crystallizes into form. But now you can actually fly. You're not anchored by emotional um, uh, disharmony, anymore. You allow yourself to fly free of any blockages in your flow. You're now transformed into a higher state of being. And
I
we get
drew,
to anchor that into this
right.
physical. Yeah.
As a woman who's had three children, so given birth three times, and my daughter's just in the last 4.5 years has had three babies. So I
Wow.
kind of call it giving birth to yourself. And
Hmm.
labor, bloody painful. It
Yes.
really is. Even carrying a child, backache, sore feet, baby pouncing around inside of you. But the moment that baby is put in your arms, you forget everything. You forget
Yeah.
everything because everything was worth it. It
Isn't that
really was.
amazing?
And I think it's like the struggle that we go through in our own self-discovery, the struggle that we go through to rebirth ourselves in our own light, right?
Hmm.
It's not suffering. It's meant to have a little struggle to it because only through that do you work through things. Only through that do you face those challenges. Only
Yeah.
through that do you discover your abilities, your strength, your courage. And it is part of the lesson. If it was all easy, would we count it as meaningful? Would it stay with us so deeply? It's like
Exactly.
every step that we take, whatever struggle is in there, it is, my daughter's just come back from Argentina and China, and she was climbing one mountain and it went from extremely hot to snow. And she's got, breathing problems and blisters on her toes, but she still went to the top. And that
Hmm.
experience of being not like I climbed to the top, look at me. It was that spiritual experience that she had when she got to the top
Yeah.
that made her forget about the blisters, the sore back, the sore anything else. It was an ethereal moment for her. But without the struggle, she could have been dropped up there by a helicopter, but would it have been the same? No,
It would not bring the experience that you would be
exactly.
looking for. And we're
Right.
in this earth school, and also how are diamonds made?
Yes,
It takes a great deal
yes,
of pressure.
yes.
And in saying that, we're in this earth school, and it's like a forging for the soul,
Hmm.
really. And you're gonna be beat to crap, and you're gonna
Yeah.
you're gonna be stuck back in the fire. You're gonna be taken out, and you're gonna
Mm-mm.
get beat again. You're gonna be folded and beat and stuck back in the fire, and until that refinement, by our ability to be able to see patterns in our
Yes.
life that are on that karmic cycle. And then that's when we be able to resolve when we see the patterns that we're creating in our outer experience. And then we can start to be aware of what's happening, then coming into harmony within ourselves, understanding that that distortion in our field is coming from
Mm.
us being reflected outwardly. We have now a chance in that awareness to be able to change our outer experience and learn from these things, heal from these things, moving forward. This is where I think we're going in our
Yes.
trajectory with this awakening.
It's discovering what is your life purpose here. What is the meaning of your being? And, I know what I'm here for. I'm here to ignite those heart and souls. But where they go, how dimensional they go, and what they do with it, once they've been lit. I'm here to just share their wisdom
That's
so
it.
that
Yeah.
others can embrace it. And, the inspiration begets invitation. They're ignited, just like, gosh, they came from this forging and look who they are today. This is the role that I was designed to be. I would love to be up on that other dimension. I would love to be the higher.
Yeah.
That's where my heart and soul is. But my purpose is here. And it's
Yeah.
kind of understanding sometimes is that when we do have this kind of awakening and when we do step into this, we would love to live in this plane all the time, but that's being selfish. We have to get out there and share that wisdom for whether people are ready or not. It's like somebody going up that sunny road and
Hmm.
playing a tune that's inviting others to dance.
Yeah.
Whether they choose to get up and dance or not is the free will, but we're giving them the music that's going to move them in some way or other, right? It's up to
Yes.
them what they do with it. And I think it's understand what is our contribution, what we were designed here to do. And when you step into that and you realize this is my strength, this is my forte, this is my passion, this is what I get up for every day and do because I love what I'm doing. I love who I am doing it. I love the impact that it has. Now you actually really are in the soul commerce. You are so enriched and so abundant. Um, and that, the human money will come in whatever way, but it's the
Yeah.
enrichment and the soul abundance that
That's the abundance.
that is absolutely so fulfilling. And I
Yeah.
do think that we eventually are going to get into a world, a long way off yet, where we won't be looking at money as the e-commerce
No.
and that there won't be that equality of living. And then, of course, when this is reflected in movies or TV shows, it's a bunch of hippies being kumbaya and oh, heaven, no, no,
No.
or a cult. Of course, you see anything like this, there are people spiritually coming together. It's got to be a bad cult, and they always make a villain out of it. And
Yeah.
yes, I've actually interviewed two people that came from a cult,
I
right?
I came from a cult
Right.
actually.
Well, there you go. Three now.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
and from that cult where it was, the freedom of being, but no, you are going to stay within your parameter. You are going to stay under my teachings. It wasn't
Yeah. And
free will teaching, right? It was
no,
dictation.
that's what I came out of, a very high
Right.
control religious organization
Mm,
that a lot of my family and any friends I grew up with are still part of.
right.
So I'm excommunicated from
Mm,
their life for the most part, right? So
right.
so yeah, I get that. That was a great deal of this transition
Hmm.
and dark nights of the soul for me
Yes.
to come through that and know that it was me that I've been waiting for all along to love
Yeah.
myself without conditions, and recognize the programs that came with those things. And all it is programs. It
Yes.
takes rewiring and
Yeah.
challenging your beliefs as to
Yeah.
what is really real, and then when you come out of it, it's important to remain compassionate about for me, because these people think that they're still doing the right thing and in their
Mm,
hearts, and so I can't judge that
yes.
because I once believed that too. So how could I? I
Yeah.
can't be angry about it, but
No,
it's what I do with it.
yes, it's what you do with it. And then when you broke it because your heart spoke louder, unfortunately, when you get that kind of cultish type thing, is the heart is only allowed to embrace so much. And there isn't the freedom to expand the spirit and wonderment and heart and where is this to go? And a community is only as strong as the individuals,
Yes.
right? It's not the mindlessness of I'm Borg, Star Trek Borg, and we're all part of
Yeah.
one, which unfortunately is the way a lot of people look at spirituality. It's the
Yeah.
kind of the one voice in your sheep bearing along, which is a great deal of religion. It's about bringing your essence to that community, being that symphony
Yes.
and having illuminating and expanding and evolving from that as a community, as one individual will and the others that's wonderfully ignited, but it's embracing each other's instrument in that.
Yeah, totally. And when we do that, there's a great deal of change that can happen with acceptance of diversity, and seeing that divine light in everybody
Hmm.
is a big factor as well, and um,
Whether they
n-
see it or not.
whether they see it or
Yeah.
not. And here's the thing now, we're embodying that higher consciousness, our higher mind, and allowing it to act now in the physical body. through our vessel. And, so we're really anchoring in that higher consciousness,
Yes.
it now grounding it into the physical body that
Hmm.
is into like a pillar of light into the grid work, the crystalline
Mm.
grid of the consciousness of Mother Earth as we are ascending together. And
Yes.
and that's what we're doing. And the body is such, again, a technology that it transmutes consciousness, the alchemy, the energetic alchemy of consciousness that we're doing as light workers is taking the collective consciousness and alchemizing that through our own awareness into
Yeah.
the heart without judgment, and then creating a resonant frequency and a light that is on this ascension path. And that's what light workers are actually doing. They're transmuting consciousness. We are healing, whether people know it or not. It's just by our presence alone that when we're in a group of people and we recognize what's not ours, but we can take that energy through the heart, and instead of allowing it to throw you off, not
Yeah.
recognizing that that distorted energy isn't yours, and then processing it through the consciousness and body of your heart and into that consciousness. We're then transmuting that darkness and light. We're balancing those two things together, recognizing the importance of both
Mm.
light and dark. Yeah.
And for the areas that have too big of flames, kind of a thought came into, those fire blankets. You're
Yeah.
putting out, you throw it on top of a fire, it eliminates the oxygen for the fire to do. It is not obliterating what's ever there. It's putting out the fire that's out of control. And when it's neutralized, from those ashes or from what's left, you can rebuild. But
Yeah.
we cannot, we could be as loving as we want, but when we meet fire, fire's out of control. It doesn't have any reason. It's just blazing away. So sometimes we need to take the oxygen out of that fire in order for us to then get to the root cause of something, because we're not going to get to it if we put our hand in the flames.
No, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And it's about getting to the roots
Mm.
of any issues. This is the path within. This is being able to really go within your own emotional state of being to see these things that we need to resolve, and and trust the process. Trusting the process is one
Mhm.
of the toughest things to do, you know.
Yes, yes. And where does that trust? My show this week is on trust. And what is
Okay.
trust? And
Yeah.
a lot of people is like, well, I can't trust you. And it's trusting the small things. Somebody opening the door for you, somebody doing a kind gesture, somebody giving you a hug, somebody giving you a smile, somebody reaching out. That's how you build trust. It's little actions,
Yes.
right? It's little actions coming from a place of compassion. And it's not about, well, prove it. No, the proof is in those actions. Are they sincere?
Yeah.
Are they authentic? You will know, your energy will feel it. Are they sucking up or do they really mean it? Your energy
Yeah.
will know, right?
Yeah.
And if you want to rebuild trust with someone or just trust people in general, look at what their intentions are. Do their
Mm.
intentions come from the heart and soul?
Yeah.
Right? We all make mistakes, but is their intention
Well,
there?
actions and words.
Absolutely. And then from there you can know whether there is a synergy or you can trust someone, right? Don't just fall for the snake oil words. Well, they said this and well, they did that. They only did that to appease you and make you trust them again,
Yeah.
right? But it's like, where are the little things? Because those little things are what's really solidifying and rooting and allowing trust to grow. And if the
Yeah.
seeding isn't there, that trust, and that goes with yourself as well. Learning to trust yourself, your own inner
Yes.
voice, learning
Totally.
to hear the pure message and not the head message,
Yeah.
learning to know which is coming from where, right? Because I'm always saying to people, please get out of your head in order for your heart, soul, and spirit to speak,
Yeah.
right? But the head it's full of data, right? So it could be very convincing at times, and it's like if it doesn't feel right, it ain't right. So give
Yeah.
the brain something to do and listen to your heart and soul.
Well, yeah, and it's stepping out of ego, and
Yes.
and first off, like, ego to me was never designed to suffer.
No,
it is necessary to have a human experience because
right.
that's where the soul focuses. It zero points its energy to the physical dimension to have a human experience. And so it's kind of like a wounded child where we
Yeah.
need to start practicing the healing the inner child, bringing the inner child out to play again because it's not
Hmm.
separate from us again. But then, it's so traumatized ego structure, and it's not that me, like for personally, it's not something that I want to kill. If it's there, it's meant for
Yeah.
a purpose to show us something that doesn't serve us.
Yes.
So now it's a place of gratitude. Thank you for showing me exactly what no longer serves me.
Yes.
But guess what? You're coming along for the ride. So let's just rest you up a little bit. And because you're a part of the whole, you're necessary, you're a viable option, you
Hmm.
know. But here's the thing, we're going to heal, so let's just you rest, I'm going to play, and
Yeah.
I'm going, and this is the difference, not trying to destroy something that is fundamental to our whole experience.
Right. It's not giving it the driver's seat, but asking it to be a passenger.
That's it. And sending love and compassion to it, serving you to this point, and that it's still there, but no, not necessary the option. It's not the option that you choose anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I think that awareness is the key to everything.
100%.
Because when we're aware, we care. When we care, we understand. When we understand, we do something different. But we can't be unaware once we're aware, however much
No,
we try and deny it.
you can't
And
go
is
back to sleep.
and can't go back to sleep. And it's the more and more you wake up to be aware, and the more and more you look at your past and go, "Oh my God, I didn't do that, did I? Oh, I didn't think that, did I?" And you know what? That it's okay to go back and revisit that.
It's okay.
It's no blame, no shame. You did
Yeah,
what you knew with what you knew at the time, right?
yeah,
Where you were at the time. But now look at where you are.
yeah.
Now that
Compassion.
kind of comparison, I don't mind. Look
Yeah,
at how far you have come.
that's what people need to focus on
Yes.
instead of focusing on all of the things that you're still doing wrong or that you're
Yeah.
not doing enough. This belief of worthlessness. This is one of my main messages
Mm,
is that it's not anything. I'm not asking anybody to believe anything I'm saying. I'm just all I'm asking is for people to believe in themselves, that it is you that are these wonderful things. You are magnificent. You are
yeah.
beautiful. You are a divine light, that is a beautiful expression of the divine. And
Mm,
there is purpose here for you, and this is what I want people to recognize is that just get excited about you. Get
yeah.
excited about what excites you. And this is again promoting this path of healing, this community, and we can do that by expressing ourselves authentically, without having to look around our shoulder to see who's, like when the next
Mm,
bad thing is going to happen. Get out of that state of mind that instead of tuning into all the things the bad that's going to happen based on prior experiences that don't exist anywhere else but your mind, you
kind
know
of the waiting for everything to happen. I remember way back when I was in kind of retransition, rebirthing, and a lot of things were going wrong. So I wrote a lot of articles back then. Now I do my own personal shows. But it was about Murphy, Mr. Murphy, constantly knocking at my door. And that every
yeah.
time I thought I'm out the pit, Mr. Murphy will pull me back in. And it was like, why is this happening? Why is this happening? And it was realized, well, I could have jumped out of that pit any time with the right
Hmm.
mindset, but I kept falling back in because I didn't believe I could get out. I didn't believe I deserved to get out.
Yeah, right.
Right?
That's the
Yeah.
difference right there.
Yeah.
It's your belief.
Yes. Right.
Because
And
if yeah, go ahead.
no, it's just that when you finally realize that the only person holding you back and the only person you're giving to Mr. Murphy is yourself,
That's
and
it.
that it's nobody else, it's you. It's like, well, ciao, ciao, Mr. Murphy. I am now free of you. But you
Yeah.
have to realize that you've just handed Mr. Murphy the legs to pull you down.
100%. Like, and when we recognize it, it's all on us.
Mm,
Then and to be okay with that. And here for, a lot of people, it comes back in like all the things that you did, like when you come into this recognition of this is where judgment, we got to be careful that we don't reflect back,
Hmm.
and pull ourselves back into an emotional state of being by reflecting on things that you've done in the past, things
Yes.
like this. This is a trap that that I've, found myself in from time to time.
Yeah, and we do because
Stories.
it's like, old memories come back, or something triggers you. And,
Yeah,
people say, well, it's come back, it's going to consume you again. No, no, it's just us to say, hey, careful. A little
yeah.
more to the right, please. Going to the left,
That's
It's
that's
just
it.
it's just pay attention that you're doing the cha-cha-cha too close to the line. All
Yeah.
right. And you don't want to go back there. You want to make sure that you're moving forward. And sometimes it is simply a reflection for you to go, oh my God, look who I was then, so unhappy, so this, so that, a
Hmm.
measure of where I am now. And so I think
Yes.
looking back to understand where you are now and if I'm here now, where could I be tomorrow?
What can I do? And this
Yes.
is what drives me every day is just like when I look back at my 3 past years of making wood carving,
Hmm.
like now I have pieces East to West Coast, USA and Canada in
Yeah.
those 3 years, and then a piece in Germany as well.
Hmm.
And
And what's turned out to be therapy for you
well, it turned out
was
to be
was
therapy
cosmic
for
divine
healing,
purpose.
right?
Yeah.
It allowed me to leave something behind, like that
Yes.
27 year construction
Mm,
field. And this is where I started to challenge my belief systems, is because
mm,
I'm like, what am I going to do? Because I don't want to do this anymore. It's so unfulfilling. Like I got to do something. And then, I literally sold all my stuff so that I had to say no to any jobs and just let the universe flow. So I wanted to
yeah.
challenge my belief system enough in trust of the universe so that I can have the experience to show people that it only takes as long as you believe it has to be able to shift your experience to something that you thought you would have to do for the rest of your life, and then to be okay with letting it go completely and trusting that that thing will just the universe will guide you in when you're in trust to that thing.
Right.
And so this is kind of what I've been doing in the past 3 years, is testing it to the degree of like, now I'm giving myself no choice. Let's see what the universe, but it helped me to see more about myself. And if any chaos came, that it was my own mirror that I was
Yeah.
looking at. And you can't run up to a mirror and see the frowny face and tell it to smile. It's doesn't have a mind. It's only a reflection. So, you must recognize that you must smile within first for the universe to smile back and to bring you these experiences of that reflection of that smile, right?
Hmm.
And when we recognize that that's on us to regulate and be aware of our emotional state of being that is reflected outwardly, you know, and it's such a game changer to manifesting, because we have all this talk, the secret, about
Mm.
manifestation, and it's like all you got to do is think it and do,
Yes.
it'll come true. But the difference
The
is,
manifesting Amazon
right,
delivery. Yes.
right, but it's a belief that
Hmm.
it's possible, but the next step that they leave out is,
The
again, and
action.
is the action
Mm.
and the letting go of expectations of the
Yes.
outcome. Be
Yes.
guided and not have to be the one in control. That
Not
way you
dictated.
allow yourself to go left or right, but
Yeah.
you're not running into hurdles anymore, because you're not worried about how you're going to get there. You understand the big picture. You've given the blueprint to your higher mind, and it's worrying about how you're going to do it that actually is like a prayer to bringing in everything that's going to go wrong.
Exactly. Life is a little bit like a cha-cha now and again, and
Yeah, yeah, it is.
sometimes
Yeah.
like a salsa dance and everything. It's all about rhythm. And sometimes, it is about the choppiness of the dance, and sometimes it's about the wonderful flow and the letting go of the dance. And all of those dances have their reason. We can't constantly be in just a flow. Sometimes we need to be, in the cha-cha-cha and a little more structured, because that structure allows more flow. And
Mhm.
so it's paying attention to, you know, the 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 actualities of your spirit, or how to actually use it in a structured way that actually has roots, has foundation that can grow. And, we've got to allow our minds. A lot of people, when they step into spirituality, go completely up into the spirit and totally ignore the actualization of it. And it's the reason why we've been given a body is because we can do things with this body. And it is what are we doing that we're being guided to do that fortifies this earth, fortifies us as these beautiful divine spirits, fortifies as a community, and then resonates back out to the universe.
Yeah. 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 And what are we doing to add to that?
Yes.
Like what is our actions? And this is where we become the example
Hmm.
and lighting the path for people to show, because it's like then you're showing people that something is now possible.
Yeah.
And when that gets into the consciousness, like the man that ran a mile in 4 minutes,
Hmm.
it wasn't possible before then. And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, everybody's breaking that record, you
Yes.
know? And so when it becomes possible to understand completely that you are the architect, the writer, the director of your outer
Hmm.
experience, and understanding how to be that and embody that by going within to understanding completely who you are in what human means, it's so much easier to break through though that veil of forgetfulness, that
Yeah.
that veil of consciousness, that we're stuck in the solar plexus in the third dimension of consciousness in
Yes.
duality, and that's what's happening all around us right now is people are swept up into politics and religion.
Hmm.
But it's just feeding the beast when we step out of the eye of the storm and into the hurricane around us,
Yeah.
instead of just staying in the eye of the storm, not getting involved with those things that promote duality to the degree where it sucks you in, and then
But it's also an invitation, whether you're political or not, on a moral standpoint, on a humanitarian standpoint, it
Mhm.
is for us to rise up and go. The turmoil and the pain and the anguish that's being put on a few,
Yeah.
on the many by the few, we have to come together as a community to push back, not with pitchforks,
Yes, that's
right?
the difference. We
Push
have to
back
come
with love
together.
and accountability and an
Yes.
expectation that we are all going to rise up to compassion and
Yes.
unity. So I feel that it's a different fight right now. It's
It
one
it,
of
it is.
coming at everything with love and common sense and accountability and an intolerance to cruelty.
Yeah, and
Right.
and I do think there's a revolution coming. Like I just
It's
feel
here.
there's
It's
it's well
yeah.
it's here. I don't watch the news or anything too much, but I know and I feel everything that's going on right now. There's something big is knocking at our door, and we're going to see it. It's in our face, but going through it together, and this is where we need to come together and put aside our differences
Yes.
for the greater good of humanity. Like, what do we want our future
Mm,
generations to look like, And we have to, in my opinion, for our younger generations, be
mm.
the example to understanding who we are, to be able
Yes.
to lead them in a way that helps to understand that they're even more, they have even more capabilities than us,
Mm.
to a degree. If we help them to see and express their creativity, their authenticity,
Their
not
essence.
their essence, and not feeding them a bunch of garbage
Right.
that suits an agenda.
That's what this book was about last year, Our Forgotten
Wow,
Children. That was
right?
15 people contributing to it about the system that's broken and things we're unaware of.
And so
And
yeah, right.
the
Wow,
awareness, back to awareness again,
yeah,
right?
100.
We
It
we
is.
know, we know, and this is the reason why the world is such turmoil right now. You know, the chute comes to the top, and it's up to us to scoop it off and make sure that we're kind of purifying the waters so that we're not going to have it again. Unless it's in our face, we turn the other cheek. When it's in our face and it's affecting all of us, or even just a few of us, but we realize that that few could be a domino effect to all of us. That's the
Mm,
invitation for us to stand up against it and say, no, no more. You are
no more.
past programming. You are destructive. You are not the chaos that will produce creativity. You are the chaos of destruction. And that we are going to bring out of this chaos peace and tranquility and substance that can be grown and moved forward. And so I
Yeah.
think that, we have to see the worst of the worst in
Yes.
order for us to rise up to become the best of the best.
Yeah, and now the rug is full, and it can't
Yes.
be you can't sweep anything else under there,
No, no,
and
no, no.
and now we're about to blow wide open
Yes.
to allow, I guess, the fire to go through to burn off all the dead beliefs, all the dead grass, so
Yes.
that new growth can transpire here on Earth within our collective consciousness. This is up to us and to show our younger generations a new path and a new way of acceptance of unity consciousness.
Hmm.
And it's not that we all have to believe the same thing. That's where
No.
there's the fine line. It's not about believing the same thing. It's you are your unique expression. And
Yeah.
this is such an important piece of the puzzle. Regardless of whether you think you're not worthy of it or not,
Mm.
you, as a soul, as a human being, individually, are so special and such a part of the puzzle. We
You are a
all
unique contributor
we
waiting to
all fit.
ignite. Yes,
Yes,
all of
we
it.
we
We're
all
not
fit.
one size fits all. We're meant to be
No,
the smoker's board. We're meant to be the box of chocolates. We're meant to be all the instruments in the
that's the
orchestra.
best part. That's the
Yes,
best part.
yes, and
Imagine the
all when
beautiful.
and the thing is being that instrument and coming to that orchestra and each of us sharing our music, our essence, our divineness. It is so transcendent because now we know that this orchestra is only as good as each of us participating. So
That's correct.
we need to own it to ourselves to be the best instrument we can be,
Yeah,
and but know that our growth and our expansion is in the coming together. And it doesn't mean every orchestra is going to be exactly the same, but that's what the beauty of it is. Jazz orchestra, hip hop orchestra, you know, whatever orchestra, all of these pieces of music have something to play. Is find
yeah,
your vibe tribe, find your orchestra where you feel that you can truly contribute who you are and that harmoniously together you can play that can be transcendent for others. This is the invitation right now. This is the gathering when you've got 12 million marching together peacefully
yeah,
against the tyrant, right? That is already
yeah.
all of those energies harmoniously coming together saying, no, we will not tolerate that. No, this is not happening. We're standing up for. And in that standing up for, no pitchforks. You're facing the guns. You don't bring the gun when you're
No,
facing the
no,
guns,
you don't. No.
because then shooting starts. But what they're bringing is compassion and
Yes.
what is right, and that we all have the right. But at the same time, we all have to be accountable for how our instrument is played and whom we play it with.
Yes.
We don't want Pied Pipers leading people down the wrong way, right? We want the piper that harmoniously plays with other people, that lifts people up and allows them to discover their own essence of being.
Yes, and this is how we change
Mm.
our collective outer experience when we're all coming together in this fashion,
Yes,
and that's where this transformation is going to happen when this happens, and it's getting closer and closer and
yes,
closer. And the more and more of us that are tuning into this frequency, it's just inevitable that well, we're going to be on that new course. Whoever
yes,
is coming along,
yeah.
and when they're ready at whatever time it is for their soul to expand, then that's when they'll be along that journey and shifting to their version of that earth, you know?
There is a gentleman, a monk that I've interviewed called Michel Pascal, and he does a lot at Carnegie Hall along with one of the Temptations, and he doesn't sing words; he sings harmony. Um, and in the sounds is where the truth lies, where the ignition lies. And I think
Hmm.
it's like when you look at a whole lot of monks together, or even nuns, and they're all in the hum.
Mm,
Well, that humming has been going on for a long time. And now what we're hearing out of that humming is some voices that are rising up to lift us up to this higher plane, to lift
mm.
us up into that next stage. But if we can't hear the hum, we're not going to hear the song.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I love the hum. This is another thing with Earth and Essence
Mm.
Wellness that Angela and I do is sound healing practitioner.
Yes. Yes.
And so I love it when you're in a room like in a meditative state, or even if you're doing oming or humming,
Mm.
to do like we have the group around do like it's not all at the same time. It's like a rolling ohm where
Yeah.
people come in at different times and it just continues and it's so
Builds
powerful.
on each other.
Oh, and then the
Yeah.
harmonies that come
Yes.
in at different tones, and when you're
Yes.
in that just space of stillness and unity in that voice,
Mm.
is so powerful in what you're now putting into the ether, into the consciousness. The voice is the most powerful instrument,
Yes.
and it is so beautiful when we use it in that way to promote healing and moving forward in acceptance, this
You know,
shift.
words can slice and dice, and words can mend and build. But what people don't seem to forget is the tone of our voice.
That's
The
a big
tone of
deal.
our voice, whether it's the tone in speech, the tone in song, the tone in our energy. Is it
Yes.
calming? Is it inviting? Is it allowing? Is it growing? And it's knowing what is your tone.
Yes, exactly. And that's what's in knowing that and getting to know yourself, your tone. This is what's going to push us, I believe, as in humanity in our experience to newer experiences outside where we're coming together and becoming raising our frequency to other entities that might
Mm.
be here with us, that, extraterrestrials, the
Yep.
angelic realm, spiritual. They're all
Waiting for us to rise up and meet them.
right.
Yeah.
And this is why it's so important to be aware
Yes.
of. This is what we're
Yes.
doing. We're in this evolutionary cycle right now that we have an opportunity to push past that veil of, like, say, the speed of light,
Yep.
because that's not a limitation anymore,
No.
right? And
No.
so
Yeah.
we're going into this, and we're moving through it now. We're going through it now, and we have to be brave together, to this storm that's going to be becoming. We can still find that calm within anything that's going on around us
Yeah.
because we know that it's staged. It's not all real.
Right.
It's real, but it's not.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah. It was designed
it's designed, it's
and designed.
programs
Yeah.
to
And
keep
to
people in fear.
exactly. And
Yeah.
even in a hurricane or in tornado or anything, if you truly hear it, you can hear.
Yeah.
Right? It's like take that sound and make it something that can shift the hurricane inside of you, all the
Yeah.
programming inside of you. It's like, don't be afraid of the sound. Use the sound, add a few more instruments to it, and create something out of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Let it blow away all the stuff that
Let it
doesn't
blow.
serve you anymore.
Exactly. Exactly. Do you have
Yeah.
a piece of your wood or what you're working on or anything there?
Yes, I do actually. I just sent one my big piece, of Seven Seals of Revelation, that's on my Facebook page, Instagram, to Namaskar Yoga Studio in Parksville. And so
Hmm.
one of my pieces is there, but I do have this
Oh,
Phoenix piece
beautiful.
here.
Lovely.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
go back, go
and
back, go back. You're going
yeah,
too far.
there we
There we
go.
go.
Yeah,
Perfect.
okay.
Lovely.
Uh,
Beautiful.
and I just
Beautiful.
finished this other Tree of Life here as well. It's a smaller
Right.
piece. Yeah.
And of course, that tree of life is, my logo is a colorful tree of life. And because we're all different colors, but it has the microphone in the trunk, as the waves communication, etc. But I love trees. They are such great conversationalists. And
Oh,
and
so
they just set things off left, right, and center. And I'm surrounded by trees, which is so important to me.
yeah, yeah,
And we forget that nature is speaking to us all the time. And that, when you are taking that piece of wood, which is a piece of wood, but you carve it or organically and you allow it to become what it's meant to be. Well, what is the phoenix? All right. The phoenix bursts into flames and comes back from its ashes. We
yes,
are that phoenix is a symbol of what is happening right now. We're in that
yes,
flame stage. All right. And it's like, let it combust, let it go up, throw that blanket on it to make sure the embers don't go anywhere else. And
yeah.
now in this new birth,
The new
in this
birth.
new birth. We don't
exactly
like
right.
what
Yeah,
has been. Well, what are we going to do to change it? We have
exactly.
to be
And
the change we seek.
yes, and then when you start seeing things differently,
Yeah.
you'll be seeing different things, you know.
Yes.
And this is one thing with Agape Studios and coming from construction. Now, like I'm taking
Mm.
something that I would put into a house, but I'm giving that
Yes.
tree life again. I love where I'm at here on the island because we're surrounded by beautiful old growth
Yes.
forests in the
Yes.
rainforest. And so I go barefoot walk in the forest. I go hug
Mm.
these big, massive
Hmm.
trees
Hmm.
because I see familiar faces, old
Yeah.
souls of the forest.
Yes.
And so it becomes just a visit. I'm visiting familiar
Old friends.
entities, old friends, and um, it's such a beautiful thing to be able to ground yourself, to be able to be in nature, to calm yourself. There's so many great things about it. And when I'm hugging a tree, I I am always thanking it for the sharing that sacred breath in that moment
Hmm.
because we're simultaneously giving and receiving in that
Yeah.
moment of what we both need. And so it is so sacred to honor that to me,
Hmm.
because it's just I am an expression of nature along with that tree. There's no
Exactly.
separation,
No, no, we're just in different form.
just different form. That's
Right.
it. Yeah.
And we can't necessarily carve out our bodies, but we can carve out what we do with ourselves. So,
Yes,
if
yes.
somebody wants a piece, if you can you custom make, or if somebody wants to buy what you already have, how do they reach out to you?
Yeah, so the easiest way to do that is Facebook or Instagram. That's how I've been rolling. I'd like to get my website up, but it's not quite up and running yet. So Facebook message,
What would the Facebook be called? I'm going to look
it's
it up.
so you can either Leigh Manzer, that's Leigh, Manzer, or Agape Studios,
And if you could spell that, please, for people listening.
Agape Studios.
Right,
And so that has a couple asterisks on it too, because it's the Greek spelling. So, but if
right.
you find my name, you can't miss the Agape Studios on my page. So,
And then, of course, you've got the other one, Earth and Essence
Earth and
Wellness.
Essence Wellness,
And
yes.
this is where you share a great deal of what you're doing, the yoga, the Reiki, the massage, and also um, the sound treatment. So, tell us a little bit more about that before we close out.
So, Earth and Essence Wellness, this is founded by my wife Angela. We work together doing sound healing events. I do tarot card readings as well, but she does massage and she's a yoga instructor as well. So there's so many different things in Earth and Essence Wellness, many modalities of healing on many different levels. So this is what it's kind of what a one-stop shop. Angela is also a holistic nutritionist, so there's that
Mm,
background as well. So it's a holistic approach to healing with awareness that we are souls having this human experience. What does this mean? Let's find the path within together. Because when somebody said you got to do shadow work to go, you got to go within. I'm like, how do you do that?
yeah,
So it's just allowing that space for people to be able to find that journey themselves, to come into self-empowerment, that eventually people become their own guide, their own guru,
yeah, shaman.
their own shaman, their own healer.
Hmm.
And that's the whole purpose of doing
Yeah,
this, is not for repeat customers. It's the
yes,
expansion of consciousness. And
yes.
that's what my fulfillment that I get out of it. When I see somebody have that aha moment of self-recognition of their beauty and magnificence, that makes it worth it to me.
Exactly. And that's when we understand what it is we need to fortify the human wellness for the spiritual wellness to thrive. And
Hmm.
when we take care of the human wellness, then that spirit it can really ascend and travel and expand. If it's too busy looking after the human, discord or disease or
Yeah.
disconnect, it hasn't got the energy to kind of rise up because we have to be whole. We
We
have
miss
to
so
be in
much.
sync. We do. We need to be in sync with ourselves, mind, body, heart, spirit, and soul. We
Yeah.
need to be whole. And so whatever we need to do to find that wholeness, then we can truly understand that transcendence of what we're here to be. Because it's not always what we're here to do, it's what we're here to be. And what
Yes.
is the
And
essence of our beingness?
well, and it's just to be like,
Yes,
when we can find that beingness and stillness within ourselves, that is a place of source, of
yes,
creation, of stillness, of peace within yourself. And that's the whole point of this, is finding that balance within your own state of being, because who doesn't want to experience peace now? Who
yeah,
doesn't
exactly.
want to experience love now? Who
Hmm.
doesn't want that? So it's just allowing that space for people to come when they're ready to come.
Exactly.
And
Y-
one thing with Agape Studios too, I do ship USA and Canada. So if anybody is looking for a piece, that is an option. It doesn't have to be just local. So
Right.
I just want to throw
Wonderful.
that out there. Yeah.
Makes a beautiful gift for someone because you're not just giving a beautiful piece of carving, you're giving the cosmic energy in that piece that keeps
Yes.
exuding out. And it can dance with your own essence. And will you do things to order as well if somebody wants something in particular?
Oh yeah. So I mean, I have to make sure that I have done that before, but that I can actually make it attach in the right places
Right.
with the design. So I do lean to just making pieces that resonate with me, and it's been working well. There's
Mhm.
always a soul that resonates with that piece, and it always seems to move. And so that's what I've been focusing on. I'm not opposed to doing custom work, but it's something that I've kind of gotten away with like the contractor
You're right.
kind
Exactly.
of feeling,
Exactly.
because then when I'm on the hook or under pressure for something, then it changes the
It
dynamics of what I'm
changes the
doing.
yeah the involvement. Though
Yeah.
I don't know why, but you will know why. Is I see an eagle in it. I see an eagle that needs to be
Yes,
carved.
it's kind of funny you mentioned that. That is on one of my next pieces to go, is an eagle, because I had somebody else mention that
Mm,
in one of our local community. They said, man, if you ever do an eagle piece. So
yes, and
I
it's
have
not coming from wings up. It's kind of the
the wings down.
wings
Yeah.
down. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am. For me, I resonate with eagle and phoenix. I'm less of the phoenix these days
Yeah.
because I've burnt my past.
There you go. Yeah.
And out of these new ashes, I am now more embracing the eagle
Well, and you
and
got the
being,
sight. You got the sight now.
I've got the sight now
Yeah. Yeah.
and fully trust it. And I think
Yes.
when we understand who we're being, or who we
Yeah.
truly are, and embrace who we truly are, then we have so much comprehension in our doingness. And our doingness is so much more pure in its intent and its
Yeah.
meaning and its purpose and its energy.
And
So
it's fulfilling.
fulfillment, oh, for fulfilling, like a
Yeah.
delicious meal, absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. Delicious for the soul.
Absolutely, feeding the soul.
Yeah.
So of course you've got the Facebooks that people can go to.
Yep.
So Facebook, Agape Studios, AGAPE Studios,
Yep.
and you've got also Earth and Essence Wellness. You've also got the Earth and Essence Wellness.ca, CA folks,
That's
not
the web
.com.
page. Yeah. That's where you can book sessions and explore all
And
of our healing stuff.
and so the sound healing will be in there as well.
Well, yes, that is in there, and this is where we're going to be putting local venues that we're practicing at. So it'll be local and around the area, Parksville, Qualicum Beach, for sound bath events and things like that. So
And it's if you are from another place, coming to the island in itself will
yes,
already connect you. There's already a beautiful cosmic vibe here. And it will be something that, you come not just to have this experience, you come to have the experience of the island. So you come for a
yes,
period of time to truly immerse yourself, and then you really will go away fortified. Now, you're
yes,
also on Instagram,
yep,
IKP Studios, QB, and also the Earth and Wellness is on Instagram as well. So, which
yes,
any way that people want to reach out to you, they can.
yep,
Sound bath, carvings, readings, whatever it is. It's like even just start off with a conversation and go, I don't know where to start.
Well,
Right?
and it's funny how spirit always leads the conversation to
Yes,
exactly where it needs to go. And that's
exactly.
the trust that we have in ourselves to be able to facilitate that channel, to guide in that direction to your soul's purpose, to the places where you need to look at for healing, any blockages. This is where we like to focus on to help people to move through those stumbling blocks,
Yeah.
those snags.
I tell you, folks, it is so much more peaceful just to go in that wonderful divine flow. And it
Yes.
isn't linear, it isn't flat, it has an exquisite rhythm. And sometimes it has a nice little crescendo, like a good song, and then it finishes off with a nice conclusion. And when you're in that flow, everything that you need to know, because that knowingness that's when it comes to you, when you're in flow, when you're in breath,
Yeah.
when you're in at one, when you that's,
And
the clarity comes.
yeah, and you'll know and in trust that you'll know what you'll need to say and
Yeah.
do when you
Yes.
need to say and do it, not a minute sooner.
Nope. Nope. It's in the
And
now.
and in that way you're staying present. You're present in the conversation. You're
Yes.
present in being whatever circumstance you're being in,
In the
and
intent. Yeah.
you're in balance and you're in
Mhm.
flow, and that way things just flow. We're not swimming upstream anymore.
Exactly. Exactly. And that if even in the flow of pushing back right now, it is a wind of love. It is a wind of let's rise up.
Yeah,
Just as the universe said, change it up, da da da, grow up. The double entendre of the grow up to a higher frequency, but also grow up and stop dumping all your misery on life, on everything,
yeah,
and take accountability for it because you're the one that can change it. You're the one that can be in control of it. You're the one
yes,
that can rise up. Nobody can do it for you. They can do it with you. They can help you apply it to yourself.
yeah.
The motto of my shows is listen, learn, and apply. There's so much that you've listened to here today that you could apply that can set you on your path, but you have to take ownership of it, participate in your own life, and be willing to look at the things you want to let go and the things you want to embrace, and be willing to take that journey and wherever that journey takes you.
Totally. Yeah, 100%. I'm just gonna take a quick drink of water.
So,
Excuse me. But
no,
you're 100% right. Taking responsibility. We're on this path together, and when we come together, it's easier to move through this. We're gonna make it, It's not
yeah,
the end. It's not the end of the world. It's only an end of a program.
exactly. And a program that no longer serves us, hasn't served us for a very long time. It's
No.
time to rewrite the script. It's time to rewrite the program.
Yeah.
And it's time to actually even go blank
Yeah.
canvas, blind, deaf, and dumb in
Yes.
order to see, hear, and feel, and trust what hand wants to paint on the canvas. No dictation or expectation.
Yeah.
Just let it free fall and see what
Yeah.
happens. I promise you, there's more control in that than there is in
Yeah.
trying to be in control.
Yes, that's the thing because it's effortless then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the whole goal of this is to come into that place where we can all experience that effortlessness of life because
Yeah.
life is not supposed to be hard. It really isn't. And if it
Yeah.
is, ask yourself why you believe that first off,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. You're
and
making it
then
hard. And I want to also add that when you step into this essence of being and you are stepping more into your spirituality and your essence, doesn't mean that you're not aligned in business or aligned in other things. It's actually bringing the essence of that being,
it,
that knowingness, that compassion, that truth to your business, and
it
it will enhance your
amplifies.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Using your knowingness in your business will always keep you on the right compass, right? So
Yeah.
it
And
doesn't matter. It's not like, oh, I'm now kumbaya. No, it is about how to use this beautiful essence in everyday life.
Yes, and then when you face challenges in
Yeah.
that path, you're not
Mhm.
viewing them and defining them as
Yes.
a bad challenge. You're
Yeah,
excited about this because this is where growth and expansion happens. When you're
exactly.
not defining something as a challenge as bad, why is this happening? My life, it's more about, yes, this is what I need to see to to get into that next, that, out of this rut, whatever it is.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I hope that everybody has learned a great deal today because we certainly were in flow and we've taken you over the rainbow and we've shown you the greener pastures. But it's up to you whether you're willing to take that walk or not, whether it's a sound bath, whether it's a reading, whether it's a carving, whether it's just whatever else they have to offer, or just even getting to know them, being present in their essence, letting it awake it up in you. Reach out to Leigh and Angela because that's what they're here to do. That's what they were designed to do. That is what they have chosen to do because they understand what they were designed to do. And now they're doing it from a place of heart, love, spirit, and soul. And they will share that divine energy with you. And just please be open to it. Don't dictate. Don't become with your fear. Just come open, ready, and willing to receive. And you'll see how it starts changing your dial and how you start looking at things that don't serve you anymore. How you start looking at things that you can apply in your daily life that starts opening you up and breaking down those old barriers and opening up those new pathways to beautiful wonderment. So that's what it's all about. So thank you so much, Leigh, for being with us here today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure. I look forward to this growth and expansion that we're looking at here together. So much love and gratitude. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. And to remember, everyone, start with the breath. It's a good place
Yes.
to go. Bye for now. We hope that you enjoyed the show. There are so many more for you here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. Just go to the podcast tag at the top there and you will see all the many genres and all 3,000 shows ready for your listening. We are here to serve you, to help you on your journey of life, and we know that through inspiration, it begets invitation. We are supported by you, the listeners, and those that we interview. Anything that you can spare us in donation would be greatly accepted, and we do hope that you enjoy the next show.